one of the big sides. They got beat by Warrington, beat by Wigan. It's time that they stepped up and beat one of like the so-called favourites, and who better to play against this Saints side?
And we're underway with Alex Walmsley, as so often, with the first carry of a game. Saints will be looking to make a quick start. The one thing that's been said is that it's interesting, the boys talking about it before, you've touched on it, you've both touched on it. Our players perhaps finding a way, but I think there's a Saints player down here. Is it Will Hotolati?
Yeah, it's Matautia, I think.
It's only Matautia. Yeah. Big blow in the tackle.
Just fell awkwardly, didn't he? Strong defence from Huddersfield, just showing some urgency to get off the line. It's really part of the Huddersfield DNA. Paul Wellens will be concerned for Sione Matautia, just back from suspension. But Huddersfield often put a lot of their energy into their defensive line speed. They dominate field position. And this is why this is such an interesting game here tonight, because that's exactly what St Helens do. Ian Watson's brought a ferocious style of defence to Huddersfield, pinning teams in their own half. Well, it's very like St Helens. A lot of similarities between the two sides. Yeah, they are. Like,
Same mind sort of set, haven't they? They get through the sets, try and force the error. Saints probably take more risks than Huddersfield.
Yeah, and this is where actually the similarities in this season between both teams is they've done well in terms of possession. Paul Wellens' side has done well in terms of possession, field position, but crucially probably hasn't scored enough points when it mattered. And that can be the self-same thing that we could say about Ian Watson and Huddersfield Giants. Not scoring enough points when it matters. It looks okay.
Yeah, it looks okay. But he's definitely going to go off for a head injury assessment. He was driven back, and you can see it was a hefty fall with the back of the head to the turf.
Well, numbers in on him, wasn't it? He's an aggressive defender, needs to get that balance right. Matautia leaving the field, big blow for this Saints side, knowing that they're going to be up against this physical Ian Watson's men.
Yeah, it's a big blow early on, absolutely. Just back from a two-match suspension. Of course, Sione Matautia. Saints having to make adjustments, but just goes to show how up for it the Huddersfield Giants were. Very quick up in defence, weren't they? Here is Sirenin for Saints, midway inside the Huddersfield half of the field.
And nice work from Ollie Russell, had to get up and try and stop Sirenin. You know, you can't just sit back, defend on your heels. They have got some big, intimidating ball carriers, Saints.
Well, Dodd it is on the last. The high hanging kick, and that's well taken by Ashton Golding. A quick chasing pack from the Saints. 0-0, first set for the Giants coming up. But it's interesting Ian Watson saying that if he's going to win something, if Huddersfield are going to win something, these are the hurdles that they have to leap over.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think he'd be concerned about winning the competition here tonight, but he certainly wants to get a victory over one of the teams that are probably predicted to be above him. I think he'd be comfortable with losing tonight, Ian Watson, knowing that they'll come good by the end of the year. But the longer you don't get one over the sides above you, the more that narrative builds. So for Ian Watson and Huddersfield, and important, I think Kevin Brown mentioned it, crucially important for performance more than anything.
They're trying to move the ball on this left-hand side with Innes Senior. Yeah, victories over Wakefield and Castleford, defeats here to both Warrington and Wigan.
Stuart, not much in it though, was there? Those two games, they were tight against Warrington, tight against Wigan. It could have gone either way, so Huddersfield won't be too upset with how they started this year.
And even in that set then, from Huddersfield, they tried to shift the ball. It wasn't about that they were shifting the ball because they didn't want to carry the ball into the defence of Saints. They were shifting the ball because they see something out wide.
But it's Conrad Hurrell. Teams have got St Helens right edge at Conrad Hurrell. It's a tactic all teams are using against them.
Well, these two were supposed to play on the opening weekend, of course, cancelled because of Saints Down Under winning the World Club. Up to halfway.
Oh, you're just trapping him in. Go.
Roby, as always, marshalling his troops. Here is Walmsley on the charge, free of injury. He's made a good start to the season. Alex Walmsley for sure. There's Lomax with a little chip here, and Senior takes it well. But there's the pressure. Good chase from Conrad Hurrell, and the Giants pinned back close to their own line.
And this is where they're going to get a bit more pressure now. Look at all those white shirts with the red V. Just trying to stop them getting forward, landing on the front.
I think one of the differences between St Helens and other sides is, look, most sides do that in the first few minutes. Look, you apply some pressure with your line speed. As the game goes on, teams knock off. Well, actually, these two teams here are just renowned for staying in the game for long periods. That's the strength of both of these sides.
I think part of the Saints' success over the past few years is that they wear teams down.
Well, they get you at the back end of the game, don't they? They don't have to win it in minute 1. Thought he was very good last week, Chris Hill.
What a stalwart Chris Hill has been in this sport, 35 years of age, and there's the kick. It's an awkward one. It's allowed to bounce as well, but unlucky Sam Halsall there, just couldn't get the ball out.
Well, they kicked the ball, they didn't get the distance on it, they just dropped it short. Tommy Makinson was sat right back in the pocket. It was high, and they go for it. Halsall gets it, looks to offload the ball inside. He just can't quite get the pass that he wants.
That's a big tackle from Tommy Makinson, just to get his hands on the ball, dislodge the ball. It's one of those 50-50 kicks, Tez, where a bit of pressure from St Helens means the ball goes into an awkward spot, but excellent cover from Tommy Makinson.
0-0. Here is Will Hopewati. Only his 14th game for St Helens. He's had hamstring horrors, hasn't he, throughout his career at Saints. He's played in the big ones, he played in a grand final, he played in a World Club final.
Yeah, struggled to get on the field, hasn't he? Hugely experienced, but he'll have been frustrated with his time at St Helens so far.
Stirring with the offload. Here is Wellesby now, moving across that defensive line. That's a long, risky pass, and under pressure there from Golding. And Hopewati was forced to flick it on, but just basically passed the ball into touch. That was good pressure from Golding.
Well, if you're a Saints fan, what you love to see is Jack Wellesby running lateral across the field and finding passes like that. For me, Hopewati needs to catch it and take his medicine. Golding read the pass, jammed it, just catch the ball and take contact.
And here is Ashton Golding, only his second start of the season.
Hold out, you've got to wait! Go.
Chris Hill, 519th career game. What a player he's been.
Chris said started the season well. Thought he was very good in the World Cup.
Harvey Levert on debut.
Tackle 3, hold, go.
Pete again.
Tackle 3.
Russell involved. Good pass there for Golding. Can he find a way through? It was Nagama with the pass against his former club.
And probably need a bit more depth there in that attack. You can see quite passive the way that where they got the ball, just trying to shift it on.
Taking a few more risks as well. Owen Trout. Still last one then, Trout. Stopped just outside the 20. The ball will come back for Russell. That's a really good kick. Under pressure, taken well by Makinson, but that was a much better set from the Giants.
And when you listen to Ian Watson, he talks about finishing the sets well. Look, he'll give the half-backs, and when you've got someone like Will Price and Masters and Russell that are playing in the halves, the last two, you've got to give him license to play, and he will do that. They've got to look up. As long as the sets are finished well, kick into the corner and defend well.
And that's the point, isn't it? They're really disciplined with their end of sets. They're happy to move the ball around, test teams, pass the ball around a little bit. But when it comes to your last player, there's no messing around for Huddersfield. They know what's going to happen. It's very structured, very organised.
Tackle 4, play your ball, go.
Bell forced back to play the ball. Here's Matty Lees.
Off the ball, Luke, Harvey 10.
A decent start to the game. Huddersfield very, very quick up in defence. Dodd again goes to the air, and an easy take there for Will Price. Brings Ashton Golding into play. But a good chase again. Huddersfield starting just outside their own 20. Huddersfield haven't beaten Saints here for over 6 years. They're due.
Incredible, isn't it?
Go, Matty Lees, you're short. You're good now.
We've lost the last 5 encounters, home and away against Saints.
Get square. Hold out.
Well, that's the benchmark. If you want to get up to the top and get in the grand finals, these are the teams and these are the games that you want to and need to perform in.
4. Out Alex and off that ball.
I think for Huddersfield, maybe, as you say, taking a few more risks. Hill was looking to offload. there was nowhere to go. Here is Nathan Peets then. They go the short side.
It's on the ball, it's clear, it's on the ball, we're fine.
Masters it was with the kick. Easy take for Jack Wellesby. But again, a good chase. And for me, the pace of the game at the moment is being set by the home side.
Yeah, for sure. And look, this is what Huddersfield, they feel comfy in this part of the game. You know, they're applying pressure through tactical kicking, putting it in St Helens end, preying on a mistake from St Helens. Strong carry here from Conrad Hurrell. He's a real point of difference. Ball certainly stolen. There's three Huddersfield defenders around him. And just the strength of carry. How robust the carrier that Conrad Hurrell is, just attracts players to get in awkward spots. Yates certainly got his hands on the ball, and that's a cynical move from Luke Yates. Excellent carry from Conrad Hurrell.
Well, bad news for the Super League champion. Sione Matautia has failed his HIA, so he won't be back tonight. And of course, he won't be able to play next week either, will he?
He's had a tough start to the year, hasn't he?
Yeah, with suspensions and now a failed HIA.
You know, that's a great shot, that from Owen Trout. Got up really quick on Matty Lees. I'm sure all the forwards would have talked about the likes of Matty Lees, Alex Walmsley, whenever they carry the ball, get your body in front, stop them, shut them down.
Hold, go to.
Well, that's what they have been doing.
Chris, quicker in the row.
And Dodd just manages to juggle and keep hold of it.
He's hurt him as well, Matty Lees. He's just in the background now.
Yeah.
Hold, go third.
It was a crunching tackle, wasn't it? Wellesby now, and Conrad Hurrell looking for a way through. Always so difficult to stop, and proving difficult to stop again. Brilliant run up to the 20. This is the best position that either side has had, with ball in hand, attacking the opponent's end, and Lomax it is. Flicked on to Hopewati, but good tackle coming in again from Ashton Golding, who's been very busy in the opening 10 minutes. Lomax charged down, will get it back, and that's 6 to go. It's Fortune's favouring Saints.
It's not, it's a low percentage play from Ashton Goulding, trying to charge the ball down. Just apply some pressure, let him get the kick away. For me, that's such high risk in that situation. It gives Saints a huge chance here.
Hopewati, good tackle from Nagama low down, and Golding high up. But a bit of pressure now for St Helens on that Huddersfield try line. Walmsley powering to the line. Hill in there with the tackle. Peets as well, and Luke Yates. Dodd and Lees just a couple of yards away now from the try line. On the last, Roby and Sirinen won't be able to get it down. Brilliant goal line defence from the Huddersfield Giants.
It's Harvey Levett. Harvey Levett knows that he's got to hit him, Sirinen, get underneath the ball. You can see he just falls off and just allows Sirinen to land on top of him.
Yeah, it's a great effort, isn't it? Owen Trout's involved too. Russell's involved, but Levett with a big contact on a big man in Sirinen, who's been great for St Helens.
Yeah,
hasn't he?
good.
He's really grown into his role as a bit of an enforcer, strong ball carrier. So huge tackle there from Harvey Levett.
Important tackle for sure. Huddersfield Giants finishing third in 2022. They made a brilliant start to last season. We're up there for the whole of 2022 and kind of faded at the end, didn't they? Masters with the pass, picked up by young Sam Halsall on David. Inside it goes to Price. Good stuff this from Huddersfield. Will Price, always danger from open play.
Oh, outstanding, isn't he, the youngster?
Russell's got support from Senior. Senior wasn't dragged into touch. The ball may well have gone to ground. It went forward, but that's more like it from the Huddersfield Giants with ball in hand.
Yeah, just a bit of open space. But look at this from Tommy Makinson. Really passive, defends two players and comes up with a big tackle. Saints were desperately short in that situation, and it's an incredible piece of patience from Tommy Makinson. Many wingers would just be aggressive there. He wasn't. But the worrying thing for Saints was how easily they were broken. Once Hurrell missed the tackle, Will Price got it. It looks like danger was there.
Do you know, there's a lot of talk about Jake Connor and how good he is and what a maverick he is, but what about that youngster? This lad would have wore a Saints jersey growing up with his dad's name on the back.
He used to come kick it in practice. We used to train, do captain's run. Will Price was, I would say, just to my knee height. We practice kicking goals, and now he walked past me. He towers over me now, Stuart.
That's not hard, to be fair,
No,
John.
to be fair, you're right, Terry.
Well, there'll be a loss to Super League for sure when he goes and plies his trade in the NRL with the Newcastle Knights next year. Just 20 years of age. Big future ahead. Some reckon he'll be better than his dad.
He's got to sort that moustache out, though. It's not good.
0-0. Huddersfield certainly with the best attacking opportunity. Here's Lomax looking for a way through, and McQueen just about hanging on to bring Lomax down on halfway. Very much like a game of chess in these early stages. Wellesby's kick not the best, picked up by Innes Senior. 0-0 it remains, coming up for 14 minutes gone. If you remember a week ago or last Friday, it was 0-0 between Saints and Hull until the 39th minute when...
Yeah, you're not concerned. If you're a champion team, and these are both great teams, you're not bothered about the score being 0-0. You respect your opposition enough to know that they're going to defend your play as well. Concern for Paul Helens there is maybe Jack Wellesby just making a kick up, and now Huddersfield are on the halfway line. Just a bit more structure and organisation there, you would get a much better result.
Tackle from Surin on Levette, getting his own back after being stopped over the line a few moments ago. Russell involved, and Price again doing really well. Evades one, evades two. Will Price still going, looking for a way through. Eventually brought down there by Matty Lees on the last, but more good moments for Huddersfield. Russell goes to the air, Makinson does well, then drops it, the ball goes to ground. Well, the referee's saying it came off a Huddersfield. It's still the last. It came off a giant Tam. Pete with the kick forward, taken by Benison. And Golding lodges him back behind the try line. Saints will have to drop out from underneath their post.
Nice defence. First of all, they tested him on the left-hand side. That didn't come off. I thought that ball come off Tommy Makinson. Yep. They pick up the ball, they look to shift it, they look to keep it alive, and it's not made up. You've just got to get back behind the ball. Nathan Peets spots a bit of space. Benison catches it, and then he's gathered by Golding. Great defence.
What an accurate kick, though. Nathan Peets on the hoof, right foot. He lands that a metre out from the try line, Terry. If that's not that accurate, Ash Golding has no chance to make such an effective tackle on Benison.
If you're Ian Watson, you must be pleased with this first 15 minutes.
Most definitely. Look, you know that Saints got the result that they needed last week against the determined Hull FC side, but Saints were going to come out with the foot on the throttle. They absolutely wanted to put in a performance, but so did Huddersfield.
And they are. Peets on the 20. Russell takes the line on, runs into Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook and James Roby, but Nathan Peets becoming more and more involved in the Huddersfield attack. Nowhere for Owen Trapp to go, but this is as close as they've been with ball in hand. Peets again, they come to the left. Chris Hill cuts inside. Always dangerous, as is Alex Walmsley from close range on the charge. Pete, inside it goes again, and Trapp is brought down. Couple of tackles left in this set. Quick play the ball. Masters, nowhere to go. Has to switch the pattern, has to switch play. Eventually looks for a way through, but there isn't one. Last tackle, Saints scrambling goal line defence. Now it's Russell again. A little chip over, and the ball goes to ground. It goes backwards, says the referee. Still on the last, and Saints survive. Household brought down. Good tackle. Had to be by Curtis Surin.
Yeah, quality defensive set from St Helens. Huddersfield just prodding and probing. For me, Huddersfield not doing enough with the ball there. For me, Huddersfield a little bit dour in their efforts to get over the try line, and for me, that's exactly what's been wrong with Huddersfield at the start of this year in their attack. Their inability to convert pressure and possession. Phil Clark alluded to it before the game and turned that into points. But with 16 minutes in, it's not a concern, but if that's a pattern that continues, Saints are going to be too good.
It's all about patience, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah.
The archetypal arm wrestling, it's that game of chess.
Well, for Huddersfield, missing Lola here and missing Fives, they're two big assets for them as well. You know what I mean? You've got to give credit to Price and Masters and Russell. They'll have some time and opportunities in this game. They've got to take them.
Yeah, Fage and Lola here are massive for this Huddersfield team, aren't they?
That's clear.
Dodd again goes high. Will Price safely underneath it.
Oh, that step. That right foot is magic.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. With ball in hand, he's already proved 2 or 3 occasions that he's is certainly dangerous coming from full back. And don't forget that Huddersfield have got Jake Connor to come back on, or to come on for his second debut.
Yeah, but you look at that and it takes your breath away, because as a commentator, you're watching and you take a deep breath when he gets the ball. You know something's coming, and that's exciting.
Well, encouraging this is for Huddersfield without a shadow of a doubt. Just missing that one moment of magic, that one little play that'll make all the difference. But they're on the front foot as Yates involved again. Livette tried to turn and offload the ball on the Saints 20, on the last, approaching midway point in the first half. Russell again goes high. Wellesby should be under it. For me, for both Russell and from Dodd in this game, the last tackle play is a bit disappointing.
Well, they're landing the ball in the same place all the time, aren't they? Challenging to come out of the right-hand side. They're not overplaying. I think that they're what Huddersfield are thinking is, look, we could get them at the back end of the game.
Yeah, it's great kick pressure from Johnny Lomax, Stuart. You know, Johnny Lomax has come out, made Oliver Russell change his kicking style ever so slightly. Lewis Dodd's been put under a load of pressure. Lomax is expecting a bit more time than he got when he kicks the ball. Whoever's kicking the ball is going to be under pressure here tonight, that's for sure.
Well, it's Roby this time.
That's
a really good one over the head of Innes Senior, but it's a nothing that James Roby can't do.
What you've got to give credit to is Alex Walmsley. Alex Walmsley, when he carried that ball, he scattered some players, and that enabled James Roby to jump from dummy half and get a decent kick. Look at this. Lands on his front. The defenders can't get set. They can't control him. 3 players in attendance. That's why Roby gets out.
It's such a good way to not get any kick pressure, is win the ruck before. Players have made a living out of it in the NRL and in our competition here. Just winning the ruck before you kick the ball's massive. Great vision from James Roby.
Golding. Bell it was eventually with the tackle.
Move, Louis! Conrad! Go to.
Yates involved. Here is Harvey Livette. Only 26, you know. 4 Super League clubs, Warrington, Salford, Hull KR. And now the Huddersfield Giants, where he's followed Ian Watson yet again.
And Harry Rushton onto the field as well. Second caddy in this set of 6. Oh, it was on as well.
Nearly.
The offload from Hill. Anyone knows, like Chris Hill, he's got an offload. Left hand offload, he gets through the line, look, gets his nose through, good footwork, gives the ball off to McQueen, just can't take it.
He should have took it. He should have took it. But look, that's the risk and reward. We're asking Huddersfield to take more risk. Yeah. But, you know, there's an error there from Huddersfield.
Midway point of the first half, still 0-0.
This side, Lewis.
Saints attack.
4, 5, 6.
Has it been blunted this year? Have teams figured out Saints a bit more?
It's too early to say. It's too early to say, isn't it? We get carried away talking about big, grand sort of patterns of play. We're 4 rounds in for these 2 teams.
Everyone's known over the years, the back 3 for Saints are unbelievable. Yeah. The prop forwards are unbelievable. James Roby, unbelievable. Paul Wellens, when he played, was unbelievable.
Yeah, Conrad playing first time.
Paul Wellens, now assisted, of course, by the French coach, the France national coach, Laurent Fresneau. Here is Bell. Offload for Matty Lees. Our Saints building something here. Looking for the first points of the game. Wellesby charged towards the line, but not the best of kicks again by Jack Wellesby.
Yeah, disappointing kick.
Frustrated John Wilkin before. Frustrating carry there.
Well, 7 tackles. Now, this Huddersfield side have got to kick the ball out of the dead ball earlier, so they know that they can't do that. They can't give their opponents an extra play the ball.
But you know, you talk about Huddersfield just lacking a little bit of the X factor. They've got to set restarts as well, but they conceded only 8 tries this season, the fewest in Super League.
I've got no dramas with how Huddersfield are going. Such a tiny amount away from being great this year. But they need to score points. It was an issue for them last year. They had far too many opportunities to score points. And when you get to the big games at the end of the year, those number of opportunities get less and less and less. So they need to practice taking them here in this part of the season for the big games down the track.
Building pressure again. It was Luke Yates. Russell inside, great opportunity now for Rushton. Forward pass, well, they're giving it a go, but it's just not quite working out for Huddersfield.
Well, any good halfback who goes at the line, he'll want options inside and out. He had Chris Hill on the outside. On the inside, he had Rushton, who just overruns it. And he did a good job then, didn't he, to pull in Alex Walmsley. The big fella saw Russell, goes for him, gaps created, unfortunately, forward.
And it was a lazy effort from Matty Lees on the inside of the line. Alex Walmsley got a duty there to put pressure on Russell. Matty Lees just not getting his task, not shutting that gate inside Alex Walmsley, and that's where the space was.
Well, they are running it from the scrum now, and a chance with Makinson having to cut inside, just about holds onto the ball, shy of halfway. Saints giving it a go, straight from the scrum. Roby giving it a go, charging into the Huddersfield half.
James, don't do that.
Been watching Alex Walmsley too much.
Lomax now. Matty Lees again. Stout Huddersfield Giants defence. Dodd now, and quick hands, but it was a poor pass and picked up by Nagama. It was Lomax's poor pass, and in the end he managed to bring Nagama down. Here is Masters for Huddersfield, and all of a sudden one error and the momentum changes.
Yeah, well, it's just reward for the right edge from Huddersfield being consistently aggressive. Nagama and Goulding shutting that left edge of St Helens down. Hopewart has made a mistake. Another mistake there from St Helens. A bad pass from Johnny Lomax, but great defence from Huddersfield.
Here's Price again, dangerous with ball in hand. The sidestep read by Ignatius Parsi, who's on the field for the Super League champs. Charging down is Nikahifo. He had a brilliant game, by the way, against Wigan.
Against Wigan, 162 metres in 40 minutes. Carrying that ball.
That's big, isn't it?
Yeah.
Massive.
In 40 minutes.
Wow.
It was ridiculous.
Rushton on the last. Again, they're close to that try line. Play on, says the referee. It comes to the short side, and Price lifts it high. Ball is tapped on, and it's tapped behind, and it's another goal line dropout. Huddersfield, you have to say, have had much the better of this first half, but yet nothing to show for it. But they get another chance now.
Well, yeah, that's just a patient kick, an accurate kick from Will Price. Good chase. Tommy Makinson then forced to pat that ball dead. And look, Ian Watson loves it. You know, we're maybe stressing about him not scoring points. You just feel like Ian Watson absolutely adores that side of his team.
Do you know, and I think Ian Watson's trying, the man who's kicking the ball, Tommy Makinson, one of the best on those kick returns. He's taking him out of the play on player one. He's kicking to him. He's not getting involved in that next set. Here he goes, ramping up.
Wicked. Nikahifo runs into Matty Lees. That's going to be some battle, isn't it?
He's a disgusting man to tackle, let me tell you.
He's knocked the ball on. In his frustration then, because there was players around him, they dealt with him when he was carrying the ball. He's looking at the referee for a penalty. And he's got to make sure that if it doesn't come off for him and he gets manhandled by Lees and Bell, he's got to make sure that he just gets up, does his job and plays that ball correctly. Look, stop looking at the referee, play the ball.
Yeah, he's got carried away with trying to milk. Well, he wants a penalty. He feels like he's been slowed down, like he might have been. Fair enough, but the referee's decided he hasn't. His job there is just to play the ball. Just play the ball.
Well, once again, all the errors that we've seen haven't proved costly to either side.
One will. That'll be the change. Someone's going to take a chance to it. That'll be the difference.
Sheridan with the run into Huddersfield territory. Here is Lees once more. But again, this impressive Huddersfield defence shutting him down very, very quickly.
Set restart again. 4 Saints.
Given away by McQueen. Roby. May not be as quick as he used to be, but boy, he's still dangerous straight from the play the ball. And here's Lomax looking for a way through, and all of a sudden now Saints are looking very, very dangerous. 4 tackles in the bank right on the try line. Short pass out, and it'll be Conrad Hurrell who opens the scoring, and there it is. One mistake does prove costly, and Harrell gets the first try of the game, and St Helens hit the front.
And that's it, you've got to absorb that pressure, and you know that it's going to come sooner or later, but when you've got the ball, you've got to make sure that you don't turn it over cheaply. And they go over to the right-hand side. It's a bit of a juggle from Jack Welsby, and Conrad Hurrell. We've already saw in the opening 27 minutes how strong he is, carrying the ball, attracting players. And you've got to make sure you're committed. Sam Hassel is just looking inside, he's looking at the ball carry, takes his eyes off that man, and the strength just to go over.
He got caught ball watching, Terry. Sam Halsol's looking in at the ball, and once you take your eyes off Conrad Hurrell, you're in danger because he's too big and too strong.
Well, Conrad Hurrell, there he is, back from a two-match ban. The red card, the sending off against the Leeds Rhinos. That proved costly, but the error from Kahifo, John Wilkins said, we're going to get a mistake that actually does prove costly. It did. Hurrell with the try. Makinson will try and turn 4 into 6. It's all about taking the chances. Huddersfield have had certainly most of the play, most of the possession. Metres in from touch.
Beauty.
That's a beauty, isn't it?
Beauty, yeah.
And St Helens now lead by 6 points to 0. Huddersfield haven't taken their chances. Saints have had one real chance, and they've taken it.
And Lomax just with a dangerous run, and that sets this play up so nicely for Jack Welsby, who adores these situations. A big four, that's what we call it. Sam Halsall, we see him just get upstream and looking in, and Conrad Hurrell's the man. If you want to be passing the ball short, 2 metres from your line in this Saints team, you want it to be Conrad Hurrell who's punching onto that ball. Great piece of execution from St Helens.
And then another mistake. This time from Will Price, the kick-off out on the full, and Saints will get the ball back on halfway.
Well, that's it. An error for Mikahihi for concede a try, then another error. 3 errors in the last few minutes, and Will Price knows that could be costly.
Yeah, you can't compound your errors. You know, you've got to make one, get on, get over it, and then not make another in the next few minutes. It's too hard to get the ball back off a team like St Helens. Will Price with a big error there.
I'm going to ask you about Conrad Hurrell. There's no doubt Saints took a big gamble on signing him, but what a signing he's proved to be.
Well, Christian Wolff knew exactly what he was getting. Had him in the Tongan national side, knew that the carrot note, you've got to keep him happy.
And they probably paid him about a quarter of what Leeds paid him. So when you talk about risk, I didn't see it as a risk. I thought it was a risk as a marquee player, but as a player doing what he's doing for St Helens. And his performances in this St Helens team have improved remarkably, but the value that Saints are getting out of him is exponential. It's huge.
Yep, it may well be Jake Connor time soon, as we've seen he's warming up. Paparazzi with the little tap on, this time is read well by young John Bennison, who scored 2 crucial tries, of course, in Saints' win last week against Hull FC.
2 cracking finishes. Yeah. He's a good young lad, chemistry student, really intelligent kid, really intelligent on the field too.
He's still going, eventually brought down. But this is dangerous, this for the Huddersfield Giants. Welsby with nowhere to go. Last tackle. Roby, they come the short side again. Lomax with the pass. Oh, brilliant from Hurrell to Makinson. What a pass from Conrad Hurrell. What a try from Tommy Makinson.
We've got to try. Just take touchline.
Well, we're going to have a look at it. We're going to have a look. Liam Moore will make the ultimate call. But if that's a try, that's a sensational try.
OK, it's tackle 5, and the live decision is a try. I'm just looking at the touchline on the ground in here to confirm Makinson doesn't go into touch. So his boot's always up at that point, I can see that. So we can keep on rolling from here. Still in the field of play. Still in the field of play. Still in the field of play, on the grounding now. Ball's grounded. Thank you. I've made my decision.
Well, I don't think that's the most difficult decision that Liam Moore has had to make. Saints get their second try courtesy of a Tommy Makinson cracker. But what about that pass from Conrad Hurrell? Tommy Makinson's first try of the season, and Saints strike twice in the space of 3 minutes.
Yeah, they've built pressure, they've just had some possession, and then it's Conrad Hurrell again, just frightening that left edge of Huddersfield. And in their memories would have been his carry that's just happened. Well, in his senior, didn't want to leave Halsall on his own. He just got too interested in the mass, the huge mass that is Conrad Hurrell, and then the sleight of hand from such a big man. And then what? We've got to talk about the finish. Just a delicious finish from Tommy Makinson.
Well, what a try. And again, it came off a mistake, didn't it? It came off the kick-off going out on the full, and Saints cashing in.
Costly. Good sides get you. Good sides get you, they punish you.
2 in 3 minutes after Huddersfield had probably the best of it, but I guess that's what champion sides do. Makinson then off the touchline. At 28 minutes, it was the arm wrestle. But then Hurrell, not once but twice, making the difference. One with a try, the second he was the architect, and Makinson with another beauty off the touchline, and Saints now lead by 12 points to 0.
Yeah, just massive play here. Look, Conrad Hurrell's a threat with the ball. Johnny Lomax gets the ball. We just see Senior just attracted to him. It's just an aggressive defensive play, probably doing the right thing. You're not expecting Conrad Hurrell to have the sleight of hand to get the ball to make it.
The previous shot that they had really good depth, which enabled them then to set up for that second shot over on the right-hand side. Strong carry from Lees. The forwards from Saints now seem to be getting into the groove.
Well, say 2 errors, 2 tries. The first, the knock-on at the play the ball from Ekahifo, and then the kick out on the full from the kick-off from Will Price. If you are just joining us, Saints lost key man Sione Matautia in the very first minute to a head injury. He's failed his HIA and will play no further part in this game.
Just seem to be getting a bit quicker now, don't they? Saints, whenever they're carrying the ball, looking to shift again. A long ball over the top to Hurrell.
He's got Makinson outside him, but Hurrell with the dummy, and Hurrell still going. And it was a good tackle from Senior in the end to bring him down, but on the last. But all of a sudden, this game has shifted.
Well, kicking on the front foot, look at all those shirts again. Was that ball knocked on from Louis McCarthy?
I think it may well have been, so Huddersfield will get it back.
Well, plenty of energy, plenty of effort from Saints and the old stage, yeah.
Much relief as well from the Giants.
Well, they just need to get up the other end of the field, and maybe the introduction of having Jake Connor on the field at the same time as Will Price might help them.
You know, rugby's an energy battle, right? So Huddersfield were probably winning that at the start. You know, they didn't make many errors. They dominated field position. But then since Saints have had the ball, it's really been domination from them, and they've just sapped the energy out of Huddersfield. And it might take somebody like a Jake Connor to come on and make a difference here.
Masters with the short pass, Livette though well read. Good tackle from Lomax, just shy of halfway. Plays the ball. Here's Ethan Masters again. Halsall on debut, the young man. Ekahifo, good tackle from Bell, but manages to get the offload. Huddersfield again building a bit of pressure, but already the Giants are on the last. Again, it will come to this left-hand side, and again, Russell goes high, and Makinson takes it really well. So 12-0 it is to St Helens, 5 minutes to half-time. We're joined now by the Giants' assistant coach, Luke Robinson. Such a good start, Luke, but caught cold twice.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been a really entertaining game. It's been back and forth. There's not been much in the teams, if I'm being honest. You know, from my perspective, I just feel like the little bit of pressure that they've had, they've sort of iced their, you know, their plays, whereas we haven't really. You know, we've built a bit of pressure, but just need to be a little bit more clinical with the ball.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? Just that last tackle play, that little bit of moments of magic. Perhaps Jake Connor will provide that when he comes on.
Yeah, fingers crossed he's got that X factor, hasn't he? But you know, if you don't come on and we keep the same team, I've got every confidence that they can do it as well. You know, we're showing we're playing some good rugby. We're asking questions. Like I say, we probably just need to be a little bit more clinical, and if we do them things and fix up a few individual errors on his own goal line, I think we'll go all right.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you.
Saints caught offside as well, so that will help. Saints had a 12-point lead, didn't they, against Leeds? They had a 12-point lead against Leeloff. That's the optimism for the Giants.
Yeah, they did. LMS just offside. That's Huddersfield's first penalty that they've got, so it shows how disciplined Saints were. Even though they were under pressure, the opening 25 minutes of the game, still worked with the referee, and a good time to receive a penalty for Huddersfield.
I think maybe Huddersfield might feel a bit hard done to in the ruck. There's been a couple of rucks where Saints have really pushed it. You know, you think of the Cahill one, a few of them which have just been slower than you'd like. But Saints, apart from that, have been very squeaky clean.
There's going to be crucial moments, you feel here. Jack Ashworth on the field. Former St Helens player, of course, Ashworth won a grand final against Ian Watson back in 2019 when Saints beat Salford. Livette trying to get the offload off. This is really good field position. Can the Giants finally do something with the ball and breach that Saints line? Russell, here is Ashworth again on the charge, right in front of the post. Jack Ashworth is down.
A couple of big runs from Ashworth.
Yeah, that's what they needed. Peach now, again they shift to this left-hand side. Halsall, though, will have to come back inside. Looking for a way through. Across the line he goes. There's the pass to Kevin Nagama. Nagama brought down by Dodd and Hopoate. Saints so far surviving. It's the last one. Goal straight from Tommy Hare! And there it is! There is a little bit of magic. Saints half asleep. They were caught cold. But Ashton Golding knew exactly what he was doing. He saw the gap. He saw the try line. He saw the try. And the Giants are back in.
Well, that's it. You just got to dig into that line, and Ash Golding, it just opened up for him. This is all that they need. He can see. I think it's Lewis Dodd. He just shows himself. He steps to the right-hand side of the ruck where the ball was being played from Nagama. And Golding spots it. He thinks that's a defensive error. He thinks the ball's going out wide, Dodd. Benison doesn't react. He stood outside just defending what could be in front of him. And that's a good read from the winger, just his second start of the year.
Yeah, Ash Golding, he's had a great start to the game, hasn't he? This first half from him's been magic. A really strong carry. Now, we spoke about finesse, Stuart. Huddersfield needed some finesse to score. Sometimes you don't need that. You just need power and a sense when there's an opportunity, and Ashton Golding took his opportunity fantastically well.
Very, very clever try. Ashton Golding will be with us on Friday night on Sky Sports. He'll be on the gantry at the DW, joining our commentary team for Wigan against Salford. I'm sure he'll have lots to say about that try.
Well, they'll be saying that it's a lot longer than what it actually was.
He ran 50 yards. 50 yards as opposed to 5. But very clever play. Big kick on the stroke of half-time then from Ollie Russell. They finally got the try that their endeavour has deserved. That's another beauty off the touchline, this time from Ollie Russell. And Saints were dominating. They were looking very, very dangerous at 12 points to 0. But that was very clever. Yeah. That moment of individual brilliance has got Huddersfield back in it.
Yeah, and look, if we look at the carry from Nagama, it just leaves Hopoate on the ground. Lewis Dodd's on his own. He's not sure he's on his own. He should be. And it's a poor read from Lewis Dodd and a poor reaction from Benison. But it all starts off Nagama's carry, and what a finish from him. He's always smiling, Ashton Golding, isn't he? Why is he so happy?
What a boost that is for Huddersfield right on the stroke of half-time. Ashworth again on the charge, and, you know, he had a part to play in that try with 2 barnstorming runs.
Yeah, just ran with some intent. There's a good way to score points near the opposition line, and it's to just carry the ball strong.
Release and Masters taking the tackle on the last. A really enjoyable first 40 minutes. Saints with 2 tries in the space of 3 minutes from Conrad Hurrell and Tommy Makinson. But then